Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple score system using Playmaker in Unity. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up a simple scene. I'm going to add a plane, add the prefabs, add a third-person controller, bring that up a bit. Looks fine. Let me just extend this plane a little bit. Maybe 5. That should do. Okay, so now this score system here, it's basically going to be whenever this guy here collides with something, a point will be added to the overall score, and that's pretty much as simple as it gets. So first thing we're going to do is create a game object, create empty, and rename it manager. Okay, so this manager here will update the score, it will do all the math and things like that. So this right here is where the main system will be. So let's click on that, Playmaker editor, get rid of that, and first thing we do is we add FSM, of course, and I'm going to call this one idle, and so that's what it's going to do, just idle, and add a transition here, finished. Now we add a new state called add. Okay, so now we go to events and we create an event here called add point and hit enter, and then we check this off here to make it global. Okay, so we go back to the add state, and what this add state's going to do, this is basically where all the math happens. So let's add a global transition, which is the one we just created, and add point, which is this. Now we add another state, and we call this one update. So this will update the score. Right after the math is computed. So let's go over here to the add state, go to the action browser, and we type in Int Add. Okay, so this will tell the manager what to add to the overall score. So now what we need to do is create a variable, a global variable, and we'll do that by clicking here, global variables, and we'll type a new one. We'll call this points reward. Okay, and we'll change the variable type to integer and add that. Now what we do is we change the variable to globals point reward, which is the one we just created, and for add we will add 1 point, which tells the system that every time the score is updated we want to add 1 point to it. Okay, now what we do is we add a transition, finished, and we connect that to update. And also I forgot to connect this one to this, so be sure to do that. Now we'll create a new variable called score string, and we'll change that type to string and add that. Basically what this score string will do is it will convert the integer into a string, so it can then be displayed on screen. Alright, so what we'll do here now is we'll create a game object and create other and create a GUI text. And let's rename this to GUI underscore score. GUI score. Okay? Now what we'll do is we'll go back to manager, go to update, and we'll add an action called set GUI text. This is what will display our score on the screen. So the game object is specify game object. Click on that. Scene GUI score. And for text, we'll add that as score string. Now we'll add another action called convert int to string. So we'll add that, and for the variable will be globals pointsReward, and for string variable that is score string. And that is pretty much it. This right here is our score system. We go to idle, then we go here, it adds an integer to the pointsReward, and then it updates, sets the GUI text and converts the integer to a string. That's the entire system. So now what we need to do is we need to make something happen here. So the system that I'm setting up here is that when this guy here collides with something, a point will be added to the overall score. So let's make that happen. I'm going to add a new game object for him to collide with, and let's go to a capsule. I'll add that, put it over here. Okay. And well, first let me make sure this runs properly. Okay. Alright, looks good. And let me go ahead and add a directional light, so we get some light in the scene. There we go, that looks good. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Okay, looks fine. Now I'm gonna have to make this capsule into a trigger, because what I'm gonna tell the system here is that when this guy collides, when this guy collides into this capsule, something is triggered, which is the score system. So I'm going to go back to the capsule here, add FSM. Let's leave this as an idle state. Now let's add another state, call this score. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a transition called trigger enter. Where are you? Right here. Okay, and that goes straight over to score. So when a trigger is entered, this will be triggered. Okay? Right, so now we'll just add an action called send event right here. And for this, the event target will be game object FSM. Okay, the game object will specify, and that will be the manager. Okay, and the FSM name, that will be FSM. And send event is at point. Okay, and that's pretty much it, except now that I have to add a finish transition here and loop that back, so this continuously loops. Now I'll run the game and see if that works. Okay, and there we go. every time I run into this capsule, a score is added to the screen. Three, 4, and that's pretty much it. What I could do is I could duplicate this object a couple of times. Let's pretend that we're playing a game and these capsules are actually coins and you're collecting coins. And so let me run that. And what happens is, just get a better view here. Okay, if I run into each one of these, a point should be added to the score. So there, I'm running through everything, and there we go. And that's it. That's a simple score system. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful, and be sure to subscribe because more tutorials will be coming soon.